Hello again. Welcome back to Billy Ho Sports. Ascot Race Course hosting the Royal Ascot. It's a little mini meet lasting from June 17th through June 21st. It is the premier turf racing social event, whatever you want to call it, pageantry in the UK, probably in the area. It features stakes races like the Queen Anne, which we will cover in this video. The Prince of Wales will be a future video, and much more. So, also coming up the following Saturday, June 21st, is going to be the Ohio Derby. And all the commenters for my Ascot races will go into a split the pot draw for Thistledown Saturday. So make sure you get those comments in there. And obviously, you have to be eligible to win. You have to subscribe to the channel. You have to click that like button. Always be clicking that like button. It really helps out the channel a lot. That hashtag BHS for Billy Ho Sports in your comments is nice. I love you using it, but don't use it just as a single post by itself. For some reason, the algorithm thinks it's a bot. So if you just put hashtags or just emojis in there, things of that nature, kind of throws things off. So leave a comment in there. Who's your pick to win the Queen Anne Stakes? I think that's simple enough. So let's break down the Queen Anne Stakes. The Queen Anne Stakes is a 1 mile on the turf, no turns, straight 1 mile. I keep wanting to say 100-yard dash, but it's 1 mile straight dash on the turf. It's kind of undulating. It has a bit of an incline toward the end that'll really test your endurance at a dead run like this. Last year's winner, Sharon, has been since retired. And so we're just going to go in alphabetical order right now. Cairo is 66 to 1, trained by Alice Haynes. Hasn't seen the winner's circle since 2023. I believe ran in this Irish Huxley Stakes. Was able to get past the rival, had the lead down the stretch, but the Foxes took over down the stretch for the win. He did set the pace and run pretty well in the Singspiel Stakes in Dubai. I have a little bit of interest. I saw 66 to 1. I'll try to post the odds checker odds up there just so you can see where they're coming in at overseas as we go along. But I saw 66 to 1. There's several different books out there that you could probably hit up overseas. If you are overseas, welcome to Billy Ho Sports. I'm so glad you're tuning in. I hope everything's going well over there. And we're going to go with our American boy that we sent over. Carl Spackler was recently sold. The top turf miler in the U.S. gets sold to, you guessed it, a Chinese billionaire. Aren't we having enough trouble with China with all this stuff that we're selling them our best horses to? Why are we doing that? But it's long investments. It's not like government stuff, but who knows with China, everything could be underneath government stuff. So anyway, I just thought that was just kind of crazy. But I love Carl Spackler ever since he won the opening verse at Churchill Downs the previous year. The Thurby before Derby 150 is when he let the world know who he was, the Cinderella boy. Anyway, we last saw him dominate the 8 furlong turf division here one last time in the Maker's Mark at Keeneland. And I mean dominated. He took horses like Integration, Trickery, Northern Invader, and blew them out by more than 4 down the stretch, coming in off a 5-month layoff, making his 2025 debut. So you add in like other races like Coolmore Turf Mile, 4-Star Dave. I mean, he's going to get his first taste of the UK turf, obviously, and a straight 1 mile course. I think he's only been over there for 2 weeks now. So maybe just coming out of quarantine and getting acclimated. It's really up in the air. I'm rooting for the guy, but if he's 20 to 1, like I saw in some books, I'm going to fire on him because he's a front runner. He's a presser early speed leader when there's turns involved. So you got to imagine. And we'll talk about post draws too for this particular race because they are important toward the end. So stick around for that. I got some good summary things for you. So Dancing Gemini is next up. That's 9 to 2. I saw Roger Teal and I think maybe Karen Schumark might ride this one. The jockey assignments are a little iffy too. I got some ones I'm pretty confident about, but if I don't mention a jockey, I'm not really sure who's going to ride. But Karen could ride this one or could ride one we'll talk about here in a little bit. But anyway, second place in the grade 1 locking stakes. He appeared to have the upper hand, took a half-length lead down the stretch, but then Lead Artist fought right back, got up inside of him, and got that win. It was a really, really strong race. There was four competitors that are here, and as you see the slideshow, and I had to do the slideshow thing because for some reason the European Sky Sports and other channels are real strict about the copyrights, so it's hard for me to use their replay videos. So bear with me on that. I try to do the best I can to kind of point out how the race finished up. So it's kind of a neat little slideshow as we go along. And Dancing Gemini's stakes wins also include like the 2025 Bet 365 mile, Doncaster mile. That's a listed stakes. Those went back to back. He's faced horses like I mentioned, the winner of this race last year, Sharin, City of Troy. We all remember that horse who tried the dirt in the Breeders' Cup Classic to no avail. But City of Troy just absolutely dominated the Euro turf circuit for the long quite a while. Now another one I'm kind of having some interest in, Diego Velasquez, 14-1, nice value. Aiden O'Brien. There's three or four trainers that I'm really high on when it comes to European turf horses. Aiden O'Brien might be number one or 1A. It's pretty close. There's three of them that I'll mention in this video. But Ryan Moore is the jockey. At least I think he's going to be the jockey. This one's sired by Frankel, back to back at Leopardstown to close the 3-year-old season out. Then he really showed some juice in this Solano Way Stakes. Kicks away late. Big chested looking colt and just likes to sit close to the pace. So I think that sitting close to the pace is a good thing to have in this race here. But you do also want to be able to, because what they do when they hit this mile straightaway is they kind of all herd together. And sometimes it's good to get in behind horses so you can draft off of them. It's a straight dash down the middle. So you're talking about like in a NASCAR race where you have the horse in front of you going 40 mile an hour, taking all that wind in the face in the lead, and then you can tuck in right behind him and keep a little of that wind off of you, where you're running almost just as fast, but you're using just a fraction less energy, if that makes any sense. So it did not fare well at the Old Royal Ascot in 2024 when he tried the King Edward the Seventh. I believe that was a 12 furlong race, a mile and a half. So kind of fell apart in that one, but he's got the great early pace. I think he's definitely worth using underneath, if not for a win. Then we have Docklands, about 25-1. I saw 20-1, somewhere in that range. 5-year-old trained by Harry Eustace. Good vibes at Ascot, running there multiple times on the 1 mile straightaway. He's got a win there, 3 seconds and a third. The most recent Paradise Stakes, he battled with the rival Sardinian Warrior, who we'll talk about in a minute. So I got a little interest in Docklands as a price. Next up, Lake Forest by No Nay Never is a 6 furlong sprinter at 3 years old, now trying to look to stretch it out to a mile in the Queen Anne as a 4-year-old. Closing ability in the 6 furlong Commonwealth at Ascot, I thought that showed he can go a little further. The 2025 debut in the Prix du Palais Royal, I guess as close as I can get there. That one was at Longchamp, and the distance was just over 6 furlongs. He did have a good closing fourth, so maybe this is right in line with stretching out in distance. Maybe they didn't have him fully cranked. Who knows? But the class jump's going to really make it tough on him. So next up is Lead Artist. That one's going to be 9-2 in that range. John and Thaddy Gostin, the 1C, 1A, 1B, 1C, if you want to go that route. But they are tremendously strong outfit. This horse is by Dubawi, and then the dam is Obligate by Frankel. So that is some well-bred stuff right there. And his results show it. It's been first or second most all of his entries, except he ran 8th at Sandown, which is kind of a bit different format than the upcoming race that we're on. Sandown's more of the oval, and there's a lot more turns involved in that one. So he does have great late acceleration in races. So Lead Artist in there as well. And next up is Notable Speech. That's 5-1. And here's your 1A, maybe Charlie Appleby. And then you have William Buick riding. This is some great connections here. 4-year-old is also by Dubawi. Ran third in the Breeders' Cup Mile actually last fall. Then has a couple of Grade 1 stakes wins. Group 1, as they call them groups over in the Euros. dead last, seventh in his only trip to Ascot, which is a bit of a knock, I think. But you don't necessarily have to be like horse for course with a straightaway like Ascot. You just have to be able to run on whatever good to firm ground it's going to be. If you're a horse that runs good on those types of surfaces, and I haven't checked any weather yet over there or not, but they tend to this time of the year be good to firm somewhere in that range. So I think we should give Notable Speech some props because he did defeat the great city of Troy in the English 2000 at Newmarket last year. That was a straight shot going a mile. He had to overcome early traffic, but once he got outside city of Troy, he really kind of just blew right by him. So this is Cudwa, 20 to 1, 5 year old the Crisford boys. There's two brothers, sired by Kingman, only had four career starts, all at a mile, won his first two, then had to go into the grade one company and was a fourth place and a fifth place finish in the two races that were won by Sharin, making his 2025 debut. So I'm definitely going to have to see one first. Then now this one's going to be a competitor. It's Rosa Lyon, 5 to 2. Richard Hannon, Sean LeVay, I believe, will be the jockey. Won the St. James Place during Ascot last year to complete his season early, then took the rest of the year off. Came back in 2025, third place finish in the La King Stakes at Newberry, and a good late push. But after the top two had separated, as you saw in the slideshow, he just kind of slowed down as his fourth place finisher right next to him. So it looks like a move forward is coming for this one in this race. So rounding out the field is Sardinian Warrior, 7 to 1. This is John and Thaddy Gosden as well. Another great jockey is Oysen Murphy. I really like the way he rides too. This one is actually sired by the great Japan horse Deep Impact from back in the day. This one is making just his fourth career start, unraced at 3, so he broke through on the scene in his 4 year old debut and kind of surprised him a little bit in the Paradise Stakes going a mile at Ascot. This is his first step up to Grade 1 company. He did take over down the stretch in that Prix d'Isfahan and looked to be on his way to glory, but that was the one he was run down late by Sosi, and that's a horse for course at Longchamp. That horse dominates Longchamp. So, like I said, post draw will matter. So basically, what it is the weather's going to matter too. So I think the inside posts are no good when it's firm. At least this is what I read. But if it's like a wet, softer yielding, then away from the far side is better off. Like the inside posts 1 through 3, stalls 4 through 7 are kind of neutral. I believe we'll have 8. We're having 11 in this race, so stalls 8 plus, maybe 7 plus offer a good spot because you can get over and stay out of trouble, and then slide in behind horses and draft off of them. Or if you want the lone speed, you can take up to the front without a whole lot of traffic going across you. So I will do some finagling on what I would take in this race. If a certain horse draws a certain stall, I will be keeping an eye out on one Carl Spackler. If he gets a good draw, I'm definitely going to be using him 20 to 1. I'm probably just going to bet just kind of with the heart a little bit, just throw just a little bit on him to win, place, and show or something like that. And obviously, it will depend on what the post time odds are. But I just think that he can compete anywhere on planet Earth. I think he's fast enough to compete with these. So I think he could run, at least hit the board. He might be dismissed a little bit just because he's the new guy in town and all that, but he's a front runner with great speed. So maybe even a plus being on the straight course. So I also back jockeys like I do in the U.S. So jockeys like Oysen Murphy, like I mentioned, Ryan Moore. Ryan Moore is a great record. He is like really, really good at Ascot. He's got 66 something stakes victories or something or other. So I'll probably do a little win bet with a win place and show or something with Carl Spackler. I think Notable Speech is definitely going to be used. Lead Artist, Rosa Lyon, and Sardinian Warrior. All of those are going to be in the mix. I'm going to definitely review after they do the draw, and then we will. I'll post maybe with a pinned comment if any adjustments I make. And obviously, we'll probably put out another video earlier in the week to see where we land on this one. So we do this year round in Billy Ho Sports. We even travel overseas. So I hope this video has been helpful and somewhat informative. If so, hit that like on your way out and share on social media. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can get in the draw. Tell me who's going to win this race. We'll see you soon.